Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Preston, and today I'm just gonna be showing you my new interior screen that I got for my Dodge Challenger. I do have the XXT model, so I know there's like a lot of issues with this infotainment not having the racing pages or SRT pages or stuff to toggle all that stuff, which luckily the XXT doesn't really have all those performance pages that are in the higher trims. So let's get started. So now I'm about to show you how I removed this infotainment and showing you what the wiring setup is behind here, in case those of you who ordered this will want to know how to set it up. What helped me was the people that I bought from this. They sent me instructions on how to do all this and stuff. But first you'll need a pry bar or a prying tool, and basically just get within these crevices and start pulling. See, it already started coming out a little bit, but you'll want to get all around it, pull it out, and it just clips on the back. So once you get pretty much it, out of the socket for around the edges and stuff, you could just pull it out. So I got the screen kind of pulled out. You see, I could just have it stretched all the way from this corner air vent all the way to the center console. So it's a pretty big thing. The gauge cluster doesn't come with it. It just goes, it's just a framing around it, and then the screen attached to this side, and then the air vents right here. So basically this is the inside. For the air vents, it comes with these little boxes right here. It says right here, but you put those behind it first, and those redirect the air to these johns, because how you notice the original infotainment, it has air vents on this side and this side, but those little vent boxes you put in the back will direct the wind or the air down to here. Once you screw it in, it should just be screwed in with a couple screws, and then this is the wiring setup right here. I'm trying to get a good angle, but you have one Doge connector here. This I kind of figured out myself. It just showed you it really have spaces for like how many pins in these white boxes. I don't know if you can get a good angle, but it's my little boo-boo's in the way. But yeah, it should be simple figuring out which slot to put each Doge connector in. And then you got all your wires right here. And yeah. Hello, so here's the screen, guys. It's pretty good. I think it's about maybe 20 inches, but it's a pretty decent sized screen for something like a Dodge Challenger, and it probably is the biggest screen that is out for this. Found this on eBay for 1.5K. Not too bad of a price. I honestly kind of financed this bitch. But just watch out what websites, if you are interested in getting one of these for your Challenger. Sorry, don't mind the blare, but some sites do charge about 3K for these, and it's just it's a big difference. I know Alibaba, it goes for like around 3, but mine's on eBay for 1.5. So it just really depends on where you buy it. And you can see my reflection, hey. But I'm gonna just walk you through a few of the controls, like when I turn it into reverse, you can see how kind of delayed it is when I go on reverse. I had a glitch every now and then where if I would put it in reverse and then start going in reverse automatically, or start driving back as soon as I toggle the shifter, the screen will stay black. So I would just recommend putting it in reverse, waiting a few seconds, and then waiting for it to turn on like that, and then you can start driving in reverse. But let's go to the apps, press that button. One of the big things right here is this DSP app. So the sound quality on the original Infotainment, it's, you know, it's good for being stock. When I replaced it with this, I've kind of had issues with the sound not sounding as near as the same on high level volumes. The speakers would kind of sound kind of choppy. But changing all of these features on this app, it kind of helps with that. But it's just kind of, there's a lot of options to choose from. That's for bass boost, bass filter, which are all good options, but it's not really ideal compared to having the OEM one, where it's just like 3 settings: bass, treble, and middle. It's just a lot of toggles, and if you don't get it right setting it up, your sound could sound bad. If you're not like big into like blasting your music or anything, I wouldn't say it would be that bad. Just know you have to probably toggle like a few options to adjust the sound and make it sound right, which was kind of hard for me to do. T-Link, which is known in this corner right here. I think these are the only 2 apps that I really use on this Infotainment. This is what helps you connect to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So once it connects, it'll fill up this whole screen, and it's just like any other new car that's out there that has a big display. It'll fill up the whole screen, which is pretty nice. But however, there's a big con that CarPlay and Android Auto don't really connect fast at all. And at times it might not even connect at all. So what I figured out with this, and you can tell it's not connected still, it just takes a while. But when that happens, I usually would just toggle my Bluetooth switch on my phone, turn it off, turn it back on again. And I think the Bluetooth name for this is called CarBlink. You just disconnect that and reconnect it. Have your phone close, because inside is a wire where you would have hooked the Android Auto wire into this. But I'll show you that later. And it should work after that. It'll say paired connected when down in this area right here, and then give it like a few seconds and it should populate up. But let me do that real quick so I can show you what it looks like. Alright guys, I'm so sorry I had to adjust the angle, but I got my CarPlay set up, and I apologize for the glare again, but this is basically what the screen looks like when you do have it set up. I got all my apps right here, scroll, and then it's just like normal Android Auto, features, which is pretty cool. Once everything works, it's an amazing screen to use, an amazing screen to have. And compared to other cars, it looks way more advanced because of all the technology, like having a bigger display compared to other cars and stuff. It's just really nice when everything works here. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Just talking like a few settings and basically showing y'all, like, this is all CarPlay stuff. And then yeah, so yeah, that's basically it for my infotainment screen that I have. And I've been told by other owners that was such a nice addition to our car, but I just ran into like some issues with, you know, some glitches, and maybe it's not all there yet. The wiring in the back is like RS, what is those wires called? But they have the old wires connecting into the screen, and I think that's what makes the quality not as near as good as, you know, maybe them putting an HDMI in. Maybe some of the features would be better. Work on the CarPlay. Just fix the connectivity with that, and so that it works like kind of great every time starting up. Like, I had my car before this, it came with it. So every time I hooked it up, I was in the car, and then within like maybe a minute of being in the car, it just automatically hooks up itself. So this is not the case. It gets kind of annoying in the mornings when I go to work trying to set this up, and just doing it manually every day, it just gets kind of tiring. So if that's something that doesn't really bother you, then, you know, it's a good screen to have, and it's great when the CarPlay works. The sound is my second thing that I don't really like with this car. Maybe if you do get the settings all correct and stuff, maybe you'll have good sounding music for the entirety of having this screen for you. But I don't know, I just found it difficult to use the app that it came with. And then there's more sound settings. If you will toggle through the apps on the main screen, the startup screen, you could toggle with some of the stuff there, but I found that it didn't really affect anything unless I'm just like horrible at navigating this. But I've had this screen for about a month now, and I've just gotten used to working around all the cons. But I think ultimately here soon I'm gonna put my infotainment back in, and yeah.